tone, set them in the groove.
Now your love like velvet, see the wisdom as it moves. Threading coming round through the tapestry of sound. Casual combo circulates the globe, every voice in view renowned. Balancing the ledger, counting feelings in the sense. Elevating indie dreams, spotlighting each sentence. Bridging worlds with empathy, fluent in the truth. Finance the family to mental health pursuits. No echo chamber, just reflections in the glass. Connecting dots from present pains to futures built to last. Every episode is sight for unity in subtle blends. Coco's in the rhythm, universal in the end.
Having that casual convo so you don't have to have the tough combo.
Let's start the show.
Hello, welcome to the Casual Convo Show, where we have conversations about topics that affect the community's personal and business relationships. We always have the casual convo, so you don't have to have the tough convo. I'm your host, Coco. We finally got a Monday on the books for the new year, and with me, we got the whole crew. We have Problem Child, Quentin Moore, aka Semantic, the iconoclast with the antics. Then we also have More Than You Can See, the King, the mayor of Asheville, Sir Paul.
That's right. Cast your vote for that man come primary time.
And then we have the Jude for presidents. This is one of Baltimore's best artists. I'm gonna just say coming soon. But if you need any paintings, any bracelets, anything that you can think of for this lady to make, she gonna make it. She gonna figure it out on YouTube and do something, and she gonna kill it. So yeah, check her out. So hey y'all.
What's up?
Hey y'all.
Am I freezing?
Muted. Okay, there I go.
How y'all doing?
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening.
We smoking.
So we can go around. So we can do a quick mental health check-in. I'm here. We want to say that, but I'm good. What about y'all?
It's been crazy. Ever since December, January, the whole holiday rush and all of that's been crazy. And I got a new car. Got rid of my Sonata. I got me a Nissan Kicks 2023. Because the Sonata, it was 15 years old. It was a dying species. The engine was getting ready to go, and my big blue Sonata, I had to let that go and go ahead and get me that silver Nissan Kicks. But of course, it's got the New York tag on it, so you can recognize me anywhere I go. Okay, it's New York now. It's always gonna stay that way until the day I die. And that's no LIE. You understand what I'm saying? How you doing?
Yes.
My mental health is cooling. It's mellow. It's chilling. Yeah.
Mine is getting there to chilling right now, because I'm telling you, with the crazy shit that's going on around us, my mental health just want me to go out here and give me a sniper rifle or something and get the motherfucking busting caps and some asses.
Oh, I agree.
Well, on that note, I'm gonna just say, as we know, this is Monday's chat. So anything pretty much goes, nothing's off the table. I really don't have anything planned. So this is the part where I let you guys do what you do, and then I just chime in from time to time.
Well, what about we start with the pathetic ass people in this country? Let's start with them. Because I'm looking at this news and all this stuff, everything that's going on. And I'm thinking that these people in this country, America, they are so fucking despicable that they will cheer a woman getting killed for exercising her right to protest. An American citizen getting killed by these motherfuckers for exercising her right to protest. I'm so fed up. I be looking at should be popping on my damn timeline. I be seeing this shit and I be putting extra. I don't want to even see y'all's fucking posts. I don't want to see nothing from you people because you make me sick. Y'all are disgusting human beings. The worst thing they ever did was to let them people out of them fucking caves over there at the Caucasus Mountains. Should have kept their ass in there. Should have blocked them with damn boulders and bombed the motherfuckers, so they would have never got out and spread all over the damn earth, creating chaos. Because that's all they have done since they came out of them caves. Create chaos. They say they wasn't created. They say they came about from evolution. Yes, they came from little cave monkeys. They might be able to shed all the hair and the tails and all that shit, but they still got that cave monkey mentality. And they following the biggest cave monkey of them all. The damn big ass idiotic dementia. Ah,
Look, the dude is a stroke victim. That president has had a stroke. He's not telling anybody because he doesn't want to quote unquote weaken his position. But you can tell how he's walking. He walks side to side. I was watching YouTube videos about a doctor who had noticed his gait, and he said that Trump has had a stroke. He's had a TIA. I forgot what that terminology, the medical terminology is, but he had a TIA. He had the ischemic stroke, and it's causing him to walk sideways. His cognitive ability is declining rapidly, and now he's up here bombing Venezuela. And I'm like, the fuck, what the fuck are you doing in Venezuela, right? You went and got Maduro. I understand he's a dictator, and I understand, Venezuela is like the second largest oil reserve in the world, or second or third. I can't remember what the numbers are, but we know why Trump is doing this. One, to get the money. Two, to stay in power, because you can't, as a sitting president, if there is a war, you cannot be removed. Okay, and now he's talking about attacking Greenland, and Denmark already said you come in our territory because Greenland is owned by Denmark. They said if the United States come over to Greenland, starting anything over there, the Danes will blow up shit, and that's just bottom line. And that's why he's doing that, because he's trying to find ways to stay in power. He wants to be in power forever. I'm like, motherfucker, you don't even know if you're going to make it till next week. You don't even know what day it is. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on. Enough is enough. He's caused enough chaos, and his little minions that follow him don't really know what's going on. They're getting the sanitized version from the propaganda news, the propaganda arm of the government, which is the news stations. Okay, but yeah, that dude's crazy and batshit.
Who, Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't give a damn about what he got going on health wise, but not the nigga, because he's not, but the motherfucker, that motherfucker, he ignorant. He's ignorant and illiterate. He's an embarrassment, like, for real. But he ain't doing nothing that, other presidents and kings and shit ain't doing history. You feel me? I said this though on Wednesday. You feel me? They just keep certain parts out of history, but we finding all out. We get to live, to see the shit that's going on, during these day and day. That's what's the crazy part. When it come to him stealing oil and presidents and all of that, a lot of people on the group, which was crazy, is the people backing him, the people this agreeing with this fucking foolishness. And that's how I came to the conclusion, because I went down the rabbit hole and start realizing, well, he ain't doing shit that other people ain't been doing.
Well, ain't no other president been sticking the damn military on people in the damn United
Not
States.
presidents, not
think
just the
that's
presidents
what they
though.
have,
In the
really.
history of war, you feel me? Oh,
Okay.
and not only but that girl got killed by ICE, but that guy, the man, because now I'm finding out about the guy Keith Porter. He also got killed by ICE. For real, 'cause at first everybody was like, "Oh, this was the first case." Well, this thing came out, so I'm pretty sure other stuff going to surface too.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then these are 2 U.S. citizens. The crazy part about that is, y'all know I don't really do too much of the race thing, but I just want to point this out real quick. Keith Porter is a black man. I think he got killed like the beginning of New Year's, around New Year's something.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
we just finding this out. You feel me? It wasn't no. I think it's probably now a GoFundMe. I don't know, whatever. But when the other lady passed away, the other one, I ain't saying either one of them. You feel me? Whatever. But that shit instantly got publicized because it was recorded and all that stuff. That I think the Keith Porter thing, there was like a 911 call of the daughter, or she made something or whatever. It kind of a video or something. I forgot what it was. I ain't get too much into it, but I did see, about that. But it's just like how people just like outright like being ignorant about like somebody losing their life. When people who really shouldn't even be there fucking with people, you feel me? Like it's like that part crazy. I don't got too much to say about Donald Trump because all this shit is his fault. All this shit is his fault. But
I think
Well,
that
no-
that
but now,
people have been detained since his years ago that nobody has been speaking on. But I think it's also important to detail, just to go back to what y'all said before about the transparency of him, which is definitely uncouth and ignorant. And so what they usually do, behind closed doors or under the scene, and then boom, we just find out when it happened. He just doesn't care. He's openly going to say what he's going to do. One thing that we can't take away from him is that from day one, he told us exactly who he was. And he showed us exactly who he was. So no one should be surprised about anything that he
But
said.
you
But when
know
it
the
that's why
problem
we didn't
is,
vote for his ass.
you know what
but
the
when
problem
it, right,
is in
but
this
when it,
country?
and then all the people that voted for him, and then let's also, we can't ignore the fact it wasn't just Republicans that voted him in office.
Yeah.
You had like
Democrat.
up here, but we voted him in. The brown people was voting him in. The same people who he's supporting. But a lot of people and a lot of families have been detained. Remember, he did this the last time.
Yeah.
And people were still there. People were dying then. So it
But
goes
it's
back
their
to saying,
kids.
I know we don't like to make it into that, but a lot of people have lost their life, being deported or, doing this whole thing. And so it's just a thing.
Well, you got to realize, America, the people of America are the stupidest people on the globe, bar none. You want to know why? Because we love, as a people, we love celebrity. Okay, we love people who are quote unquote stars. Okay, we idolize people in the spotlight. That's why you see so many people debating people like Beyonce and Jay-Z and oh my God, oh I can't believe or Puffy, Puffy got all this money. They equate stars with money. They equate Trump with money. The love
He
of
was a
money.
broke motherfucker.
Right.
He was a broke motherfucker. He got paid though now.
Right. He got paid now through them tariffs and through scamming the government.
Them phones.
Yep.
Who said anything about pay? That motherfucker went and took. He take what he want. He's stealing. As a matter of fact, I'm sorry, using the wrong terminology. He is discovering. He discovered the oil. He discovered the Venezuela president and his wife. You feel me? He go right discover Greenland. He discovered the Gulf of America. He is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That man
them people have said if you come over there messing around, that they gonna kick all the U.S. bases out of their countries.
Yeah. Listen. Yeah, so that's my question to America. What's going to happen when the world is just so like it's fed the fuck up with this shit? Because we are enough of us is already fed the fuck up. What's going to happen when the world is fed up, right?
They already fed up.
Is he
They ain't
want
fed
to
up
fight?
enough.
Can I interject for 1 second? For 2 things. First, hey J Bad, hey Douglas. First of all, shout out to Doug. Can you send me the link for your I have a person. I think I talked to this is for Doug. Talked to him before. I need the link for your church because he wants to watch the stream if possible because it's more conducive for him. So that's one shout out to him. So then secondly, J Bad said Coco last time he rang, he wasn't as vicious like he is now. Like he don't give a fuck now. He had fugitive shit. Ain't gonna go his way, so he's heartless. He was an asshole before too. I think what it was, a lot of us, like how we always do, is ignore. But I think now the issue is the policies that have been put in place now is having a more heavier impact on all of them. It's not specified to one specific person where you can't say this is and a third. Everybody who voted him in didn't think they would feel the effects of him. So people who thought they were making money and doing all of this stuff his last presidency, because that's what a lot of people was telling me, especially Black people and brown people was saying, I made money with Trump. I made money with Trump. He got my vote. That's all I heard.
Yeah.
Now people are losing money, losing jobs. You got to think back then, a lot of things were in process. But let's also, if we're gonna be fair all across the board. It ain't just him. All the presidents start putting this shit in motion. It's just hitting now. This stuff been going through for like years. So now that it's hitting with him, yeah, he gonna catch the bulk of it. Do you think he can? No. He trying to make sure all of his cases get thrown out the way. So look at how much is not being talked about. Not only when it comes to our government, our Senate, period. All of them corrupt and dirty.
Yeah, because you got to realize, again, America loves celebrity, right? They love people who are in the spotlight. Trump has been in the spotlight since what, the 80s, 90s or whatever. He made, since like the 80s and 90s or whatever. But he really, he was like, yeah, I'm a real estate mogul and all. No, you inherited and stole real estate from people, and you claimed it other investments, and you stole the money that you made, and you also got the money from your father who stole before him. That whole family is crookeder than a barrel full of snakes.
The Khan family, a bunch of cons.
Yeah, bunch of cons. The son, the shit, fucking Donald Trump Jr., Barron, goofy looking ass Barron.
No Eddie Monster motherfucker.
Nah, that motherfucker. I said, look, if you want to declare war, send that little bastard in the war, because if you have any inkling of how to run the government, you should always start with the military, because you're going to be in charge of that military. You're going to need to know how to maneuver and get with your generals on how to maneuver things, not just do things willy-nilly. You see what I'm saying? But that's the problem. American people are so enthralled by this glitz and glamour and shit. That's why you see him chasing stars. Oh my God, I took a picture with Beyonce. Look at me. I'm important now. No, you're not. Beyonce got $1 million. She can give a fuck about you. You know what I'm saying? We love that. We got to break that chain of that psychological chain we have towards celebrity. I've been saying that for decades.
Well, go ahead. I was going to say, go ahead.
I've met plenty of celebrities, and I treated them like regular people. You know what I'm saying? Hell, they bought me beer. Oh yeah, my man right there. Yeah, he's cool. I like. He had a nice conversation with me. He wasn't trying to be, pressing for me for autographs and all that shit. Talk to them like regular people, because that's what they are. They're regular human beings. They just pay an exorbitant amount of taxes, or probably have more tax breaks than I do. But they are still human beings. They still put on their underwear the same way I do. They still wash their ass like I do. They still drive. They probably drive more expensive cars and have better tax write-offs. But at the end of the day, when it's said and done, when they're dead and gone, that celebrity ain't gonna mean a goddamn thing. Because they're what? They're dead.
Well,
The legend lives on.
Exactly. Life's gonna go on.
Can I read some comments real quick?
idol worshipers.
Can
Go
I
ahead.
I just want to read a couple of comments because we got some interaction going on. So shout out to Facebook. J Bad Jackson said hello fam, Miss Jew, Paul, Mr. Q, and
Hey,
Gogo. I said hey, and then he said it's going to be worse when people start fighting ICE back. Going back to that ICE conversation, and then he says city mayors, city. Shit, let me do it like this because he be making me feel some type of way. He said city mayors and governors are starting to not like ICE policies and fight back on their own. And then he said Coco last time, I think I read that last time he ran again. And so for those of you who may not know, I do go in the comment section and interact with you guys. It's kind of fun. So oh shoot, I said in his response to the retaliation thing, I said, and the government is retaliating by withholding funds that help American citizens. So what I want to say before I go to the next one with that one is part of what we're seeing now, the more our local governments are like, especially sanctuary cities and, people with citizens who are speaking up and becoming more vocal and protesting against like what's happening, and not even just when it comes to ICE, what's happening with the policies as far as like insurance, our funds and all of these different things. What they're doing is a lot of these places do depend on government money, and a lot of our healthcare facilities depend on government funds. A lot of our housing depends on government funds. We think we have a homeless issue, which okay, I'm gonna just say this, and I'm gonna come back to it because this gags me like to the point I be like stuck on stupid. We talk about all of this stuff, but no politician, and not even locally, whatever, talk about the homeless population and the homeless rate. So all of this stuff that's going into effect, if they take away the permanent housing funds and things that assist people who may not be able, which affects our elderly, our disabled, and all of these people, that's going to add to the homeless rate. But that's the population of people that nobody wants to talk about but get judged the most. But I'm gonna continue.
ICE coming into them. I'm gonna just say this. After saying what ICE is doing and saying how like people really not with it, I do feel like people gonna start fighting back. I mean, the police are stepping up. What that mayor say? After saying that mayor say, ICE better get the fuck out of what is it, Minnesota?
Mm-hmm.
Being from a place where I'm from, I feel like after saying some shit like that, most people probably, well, I know they would carry that shit probably like that here. You feel me? If some shit happened, because one thing you don't want is people to riot, people to start going out and looting and all that shit like that causes shit like that.
It's gonna cause martial law to happen.
Yeah.
Well, you see,
and it's looking like we turning into all them countries that you used to see on the commercial when we was growing up on
the third
TV.
world countries.
Everybody fighting, the citizens fighting the police. You got it looked like what they call rebels. Ain't that what they called over there? The rebels fighting the law enforcement. They fighting your police. They fighting your governors. They fighting the citizens. Everybody fighting them. And then if they get free reign stuck, it's like living somewhere else. All the places that they tell you to fear and be worried about going to. Oh, and I wanted to say something too. Wait a minute, before we skip about Donald Trump, right? Because I wrote some stuff down. Donald Trump made that. Did y'all see that little that joke that he was making about the transgender bodybuilder when he was doing the
little thing? Yeah,
when he was talking about, she was like, like making all this noise, and it's crazy because he's so bold at, like it's crazy, like he's so bold about doing stuff, like just for you making fun about a woman who could bench press you probably with one hand. You feel me? You can't even lift what she can lift, but you're making fun of her, and you got the people laughing and joking and about it. He the president. He did that on, like, in front of people, like at the podium, little thingy, like up there, looking a fool out of shape, turkey neck, and all that going on.
Did he do that stupid ass dance, that dumb ass dance?
No, he was moaning. He was moaning. You guys see, he was like,
He looked like he barely lift his head up.
He has no shame. That woman probably could snap his damn neck. He got no shame. If he gonna damn mock a damn, excuse my name, mentally disturbed person, if he gonna mock them when he's running for president and shit the first time, that man ain't got no shame. He don't have no shame.
No.
And I see what somebody said. Somebody said today. I seen it posted somewhere. Something they said, he's an 80-year-old man with a 2-year-old's brain.
Yeah, an accident. Yeah. Ain't no damn president. An accident.
Yeah.
I don't know how he got to be president. He's president. He's present.
That's just
sometimes.
That's just like when if he knew anything about history.
He do.
Okay.
He been there.
They gonna do him like they did Hitler. You ain't the Hitler, right?
No. I'm going before Hitler.
But he feel like he was on the other side of it. He's trying to recreate Hitler, though.
You're right.
Yeah.
Look up the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act. Okay, the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act was enacted, I think, in 1919. I can't remember. That's the
one more time. What is it called?
Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act. Because
like Holy or Holly?
Hawley.
Hawley. Hawley.
Oh, HAW. Okay.
The Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act was what caused that accelerated the Great Depression. That accelerated America into the Great Depression in the 1920s. Okay, that was they tried the terrorists one time before, and that didn't work. Okay, Trump doesn't know about that type of history because, number one, he's illiterate as fuck. He can't. He don't care about that. He wants what he wants when he wants it. And he thinks his power, money is gonna, wipe all the bullshit away from America. No, what you're doing to this economy, you're basically bankrupting this economy. That's why people are having to manage. They're having to decide whether to pay bills or to eat. You see what I'm saying? Hell, you don't pay bills, your credit get fucked up. But if you don't eat, you can't pay bills because you ain't got no fucking food to eat. You see what I'm saying? So it's catch-22. So the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act, I think that was Warren G. Harding that was president at that time. He enacted tariffs. It didn't work. Okay? Trump's doing it now, and it still ain't working. He's pocketing the money that he's getting.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
It's not helping the American economy. Hell, the average American person nowadays is like I say, they're struggling with rent, They're struggling with bills. They're struggling with food, the child care, on and on and on and on. And
Everything.
you having to play those
Healthcare,
right.
everything,
Everything.
utilities,
Yeah.
everything.
You having to play these mental gymnastics every day. Yes, that is going to take a toll on you mentally. If you at least you're going to get PTSD from it. Believe me, I know. I got that shit. I got PTSD from being out of work 9 months, trying to juggle shit with no money and all this other shit. And man, that I was like, I don't never want to go through this shit again. Now it's like it's gotten worse. He's made the economy way worse. And it's going to be a lot more people going homeless within the first quarter. You know what I'm saying? The first quarter. They said that the first quarter is going to be a shit show. It's already a shit show. It's a continuation of what happened last year. What's the difference between this year and last year? There ain't no difference. It's still a shit show. A shit show is a shit show. Whether it be a small shit show or a humongous shit show, it's still a shit show.
Well, see, people ain't paying attention though,
Right.
because if they know anything about this man, when he had all his little business ventures, the USFL and all that shit, he bankrupt every damn thing he touched.
Everything he touched.
Where is all that money from the motherfucking Apprentice or whatever the hell that damn show was? You're fired and all that shit. Where's all that money?
Stole that from ABC. He stole that money.
That shit is gone. Okay, so now what he's doing now, while he's in the process of bankrupting the country, he's stacking his money in his pocket somewhere.
Yeah.
His money being stacked. That's why his son and all the motherfuckers all over there overseas, all them places talking about they in business ventures and shit.
Yeah,
they hide that money.
They hide that money because in case they come after him, because in this year is the year where the House and the Senate are going to be like, let's impeach that motherfucker. If the Democrats get in, he was like, he even said it himself. If the Democrats get in office, I'm gonna get impeached. I'm going to jail.
The other dude said it. Bannon said it before.
Yeah.
Bannon said, y'all know if you lose the midterms, a whole lot of people are gonna be getting locked up, including myself.
I said, yeah, lock his ape looking ass up, Bannon. His ape looking ass.
But see, the thing is, people. White people, I gotta speak true. White people, as long as they feel like they are doing better than us, they don't care about them being treated on cause. They're not benefiting the motherfucking thing. They're not benefiting shit. Right. They still out here struggling just like we are, but they think they doing better than us, so they want to still look down on us. So, well, we for Trump. Trump ain't giving y'all a damn thing.
Yeah, but
nothing.
You know what? You remember what Lyndon Baines Johnson once said? Lyndon Baines Johnson even said this after Kennedy got killed, right? He said, if you take the poorest white man and convince him that he is better than the average black man, you won't even know it. He won't even notice you picking his pocket.
Exactly.
Yeah, and even still, just to piggyback to that, white Caucasians. The Caucasian population of America are the highest percentage that's being affected by the policies that's being implemented.
Yeah.
Truthfully. So, and I think that's why we're seeing as much outrage, because when you look at who's protesting, as far as for the policies for increases in the tariffs and all of this stuff, and whose households are being affected, you even have like doctors and lawyers who lost their jobs, or people who were making six figures or making, when I say six figures, over $350,000 a year, are complaining about how they're going to live, because a lot of them lost their jobs and did all of this stuff. So those people are being, I don't want to say humble, but are having a rude awakening. So I think that's why you see so much explosion of kickback. Yeah. And now you see, there was a comment that said most of the, as far as like ISIS primarily in like Democratic run states, but we're also seeing today is an increase of Republican states that's joining in because they're being affected too. And if they don't get on board, they're taking that money. So everybody is being affected. The only race that I feel like is trying to be triggered because we haven't really acted an ass like we normally would is Black people, which is why I saw some stories where now ICE is targeting Black people. So
Yeah, because they're getting that to the Somalis. So now if you got dark skin, you better not have no damn accent.
So I'm talking about like I ain't talking about like Africans, people from other countries. I'm talking about us who were born here.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's still if they can say, well, I thought they was Somali. Anything. I mean, this comes to color your skin. Just like you got U.S. naturalized Hispanic people. They snatching their asses right on up, putting them in cars and shit.
Well, they recanted that. So just to clarify that, they recanted the natural. I think I was talking to Jude about this. The natural citizenship. You remember how like a lot of immigrants would come here and have their babies here? Because even though their care wasn't covered, the states would cover the birth. And then as long as your child was born here, they would become a citizen. They would be a U.S. citizen. Well, they took that back. Whereas though that natural citizenship is no longer a thing. So, but when I say like born here, I'm talking about when they came over and they took our ancestors and brought us over here. When I say us, who's been here, built this shit, did all of this stuff, and continue to build this shit. Now, again, remember we've been sitting back line dancing throughout all of this stuff because we already been affected by all of this stuff. Yeah, we knew what was coming. And one thing, we are survivors. And before, years ago, whenever something would happen in protest, what's the first thing we do? We protested and rioted our own neighborhoods and tore down our own stuff. This time, we sitting back like, this ain't our fight. We know what we need to do. This shit was coming. Y'all voted for him. We just got to look out for us. So I personally feel like a lot that's happening when it comes to now, okay, we're going to target them because everybody want us to get active so bad.
Yeah, you know who wasn't prepared for this? Rich people. Rich people was not prepared for this at all. You feel me? Everybody was so quick on targeting the poor and the less fortunate. You feel me? And even attacking the elderly, right? But you know what happened? I seen this news article of this nursing home where I guess people was investing in it for their parents to live there. And this is how rich people put their parents away, right? Once the parent died, the money that they invest money into it, they get like large lump sums once the parent died for them taking care of them or something. I don't even know. I don't know how it worked. I just know that the people was complaining because somebody had lost like $500,000 because they shut it down. Like they shut something down, some kind of funding, all this stuff. The place filed like some kind of bankruptcy. It was some kind of whole bunch of shit going on with that. But the government had something to do with it too. Man, they shut that shit down. And all them people, one family, one daughter lost $300,000. Somebody else lost like $500,000. It was like high numbers. I was like, God damn, you get all that for your parent motherfucking dying. But also with that, the parent, the kids had to take the motherfucking parent with them, and they had like 30 days to do it. And it was crazy because that didn't make like national news, you know, like, hey, it's only, they put it out there like it was only like the lower income people that was affected. And no, it was affecting everybody. When he made cuts, that shit was affecting everybody. And everybody is out here like, oh my God, what am I going to do? You know, I got a, you know, life. How am I going to, you know, figure it out? Like every motherfucking body else, figuring it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just sitting here thinking, I was just sitting here thinking, because, you know, I got attention deficit, But Donald Trump, everybody think he was such a great guy for giving the Lumbee Indians recognition.
You're right.
What that has done has created more animosity between the Lumbees and the Cherokees. Because see, on one side of us is Cherokee, North Carolina. Yep. That's where the Cherokees at. They get all this damn money over here. Got the casino and everything. Yep. So now, down from us now, Down in Lumberton, it's gonna be the Lumbies being able to do that same thing, getting casinos and all that stuff. And all them people that's coming up here had to come up this way, all the way up to Cherokee and down in Kings Mountain, places like that, to go to the casino, or gonna be able to spend their money down there now. So what he done, he said, yeah, I'm gonna put these motherfuckers back at each other. Because the Cherokees was happy because they were the only Native Americans really getting recognition and getting all that money.
Yep.
All them checks every fucking quarter, whatever. All that fucking money. My great-great-granddad was a fucking full-blood Cherokee. Y'all didn't give me nan dime, nan check. And now I'm glad to see that the Lumbies are getting their recognition and be able to get their shit down there. Because these Cherokees are some racist motherfuckers. They know that without the black man, that they probably would have started a long time for really getting all that buffalo. They started a long time ago because the black man came and saved their asses well.
Mm-hmm.
That's why
They put buffalo back in Yellowstone, didn't they?
they put. I mean, they put buffalo, but they hate buffalo.
Yeah, they like my mother, God rest her soul, she was Cherokee, you know, and I got ties in North Carolina. That's why I know so much about Cherokee, North Carolina, Charlotte, Asheville, blah, blah, blah. Now, yeah, he did that for posterity's sake, you know, recognizing the Lumbies. Because when I was living in Charlotte, right, a lot of the Caucasians like, oh, you dating that Lumbee Indian chick? I was like, yeah. What's it to you? We call them wannabes, not Lumbies. I was like, wow, why are you calling them wannabes? Because they want to be Indian. And I did my research. I was like, no, they're Native Americans. I'm sure they're Native Americans. They're just a segment of Native Americans that you don't hear about in the history books.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But there's like a whole clandestine pattern, like a whole clandestine. Yeah, there are a bunch of tribes, you know what I'm saying, throughout the country that people have never heard of. You know what I'm saying? Like in New York, upstate New York or Long Island, I can't remember, Massapequa area. I forgot what the name of that tribe is out there. If somebody is listening, somebody help me out. I forgot what the name of the tribe is. But yeah, they have a large segment of people out there.
They still finding people. Didn't they just find somebody in the Amazon?
Yeah.
Because they know fucking with that.
And now,
because they were only going to certain places where it was easier to take. I'm sorry to cut you off. Plus, we also got to understand and go back to what Drew was saying. Like a lot of those tribes, and we still like that tribe that's hard to get to because they're going to fight back and they know their land and they can use their land.
Oh, the Sentinelese.
Yes, the Sentinelese. Yes. So just imagine how many other tribes that still are rich in culture.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to protect because their land, their homes mean something. I feel like they frequented places where it was easier to infiltrate.
Yeah.
So that's why I think there's probably so many that we probably don't even still know exist. They still find in parts of the fucking world.
Man, we can't even communicate with them because they don't speak a language that nobody knows.
Exactly.
Just like
right. And we turned on each other because I'm sorry. We turned on each other like when I say we, like our ancestors, like back then, most cultures or like other countries, they had their own language. A lot of those tribes, they took that culture away. Because remember, they wouldn't let them speak. They wouldn't do it. So when you they know I want to learn how to do some stuff like this. And then it's also from I was watching some documentary. I can't remember the name of it. I think it's when they do like ancient tribes and all of that stuff. So they were saying how a lot of times the languages are pretty much scientific. That's why science is studied so greatly because it covers so many. It's really like areas, right? So a lot of times, all of those things that it had, what is it called when you can do the blink system with a light? what is it called? What is it called? What
Is
is
that
it
Morse
called?
code?
Just like yes. So a lot of the languages were also like that. That's why they were saying like when people were being enslaved, they would not let them speak in their native tongue because they could sing certain things. So that's why they started like singing and doing different things to try to sing codes. And that's why they were like doing different things to like silence them. And I think they were going to the extreme, like cutting people's tongues out and all kinds of other stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same thing with
'cause
slaves.
it
The
wasn't
slaves, they
a
were having
word.
slavery.
It wasn't words. It was like a sound. They
Yeah.
use like
Yeah.
sound.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the same thing with the slaves. When the slaves are here, that's why we have braided hair, because the braids and dreadlocks. If you looked at the person's head and knew how to read a map, if you were intelligent enough to read a map, it'll tell you what way to go to get out of danger. You know what I'm saying? White people didn't know that shit. They just thought, oh yeah, these niggers here, just braiding their hair, and they're trying to make it look good so I can go in there and rape them. No, they did that. They did that to communicate among one another. Hey, look at that. Look at my right scalp. This is the exit. This is where you want to go. So take the left and then follow the pattern to get to the right. White people didn't know that. The slave owners did not know that. And that's why a lot of them escaped. And now all of a sudden, the white folks now, they starting to catch on to a lot of shit, right? As far as with this president, that it's too little, too late to me, because it's like you should have never voted this asshole in because he's a dumbass. But this is what, and now he's taking away the Department of Education. You are purposely making the population dumber than what they already are. They already don't know shit. You gonna take away the Department of Education and make them even dumber?
That's because people get ready to stop going to school. And because one, the cost is high, and then how they're doing student loans and paying them and the payback now. It's pretty much as soon as you finish, they ready to send everybody into. You remember before you had like that little period before you go into like default status, and then a lot of people are afraid of that, so more people are not going. So yeah, unless you can afford.
You know that the Supreme Court told him that they cannot block that money from the 5 Democratic states for them kids. Mm-hmm. So he got to come about that. See, the thing is, this motherfucker here gonna do what he can do and go ahead. When they decide to turn shit over, then that'll be it. But he gonna do everything he can as long as he can until they stop him. But the one thing people gotta realize, people ain't paying attention, is that he already had the Supreme Court give him absolute immunity for anything that he does while he's president. Mm-hmm. In the course of his acting as president business. Everything he's doing now, running around the country, taking money and taking people's oil, he's doing that as the president of the United States. So now, even when the ship goes down, Don ain't gonna be able to be Teflon inside on all. But all his minions, they gonna get punished.
They're gonna get punished. They're going to jail.
They're gonna get punished. They loyal as hell right now, eating the cotton and living the good life and telling the lies and indulging. But they gonna go down when he goes on floating about his business happy way with all that money.
Yeah.
Like you said, Q, all that money, he gonna be gone.
That's why he got that flight. That's why he got that plane from Qatar, right?
Yeah, right.
And they don't have, I don't think they have extradition laws in Qatar.
Mm-mm. Nope. They don't. They don't. And so you ain't heard nothing more about Qatar, nothing else. Nothing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Nothing. There's stuff going on. Ain't one of his sons or somebody over in that neck of the woods or something. They over in that neck of the woods doing their little business and stuff. I know that. Mm-hmm. Getting that money. And so they already know, hey, Pop gonna come on up out here. We gonna break camp. And everybody else gonna eat the bullet.
Yeah.
If they impeach him, what they gonna do? He was impeached when he was in office before. If they impeach him, what are they gonna do?
Nothing. Not a damn thing. Because we don't even know if this motherfucker gonna make it tomorrow because he don't even know if he gonna make it tomorrow.
Oh, they gonna keep him juiced up. They got
Yeah.
him on that McConnell juice.
Yeah, they sure do. They sure do. Boy,
Because
they-
you like you said, he done had a stroke, so they gotta have him on that juice to keep him moving.
yeah,
This time gonna get up in the middle of a damn meeting with the people about the oil and gonna get out and go look out the damn window talking about the ballroom.
yeah.
This man is not there, and they know it. And
Right.
whoever
You
got
know.
the marionette strings making him dance and dangle are getting the benefits.
Bye.
Because see, when they was talking about this ballroom, I was like, who the fuck? What the, ballroom? Lord Welk is coming back? What the fuck is going on here? I ain't seen a ballroom since Lawrence Welk.
And now he's ready to destroy more of the he's ready to destroy more of the White House to make room for this place.
Right. For what?
And these people let them do this shit.
Gold toilets? Okay. What he done realize?
He trying to create a palace.
Right. What I want to take a shit on a gold toilet?
Yeah.
No.
He trying to create
Come
a
on.
palace. Like people over there who choke men and all them motherfuckers. He trying to create him a palace.
Right. Yeah. Talk about, yeah, I gotta have, it's gonna be the grandest ballroom. It's gonna have to be lined with gold and all. Okay.
Oh.
If what I did with a gold toilet, okay, gold. What people don't realize about gold, okay, precious metal. Gold is a very malleable metal. Malleable means you can bend it, you can do it's very soft when it's placed under heat. Very soft. That's what I mean by malleable. And I'm like, why the hell would you need a gold toilet? Okay, what's going? Okay, I'm taking a dump on a gold toilet. I'm gonna be taking selfies on that motherfucker. Look at me in this gold toilet. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And then when he said the bowl, I was like, who the fuck is coming? Lawrence Welk? Polka dancer coming back? What the hell's going on?
I couldn't even do the Lawrence Welk shit.
I had to eat my sandwich before I answer this question. What is he doing making a ballroom? He's stealing the people's money.
Yeah.
First of all, let me say this. When he first got office, didn't him and Musty collect billions and billions of unnecessary spending?
Yeah.
Where it go?
Aid, all that shit. Funded
Where
to the
it go?
aid place.
Where did it go?
You see,
Then-
Musty going to hide the money too. He got the money.
Exactly,
And
you feel me? Where is that? Let's start there. Then he's supposed to then he put these turfs, and the turfs was supposed to gave everybody $2,000 and lowered the price of eggs. And what else is supposed to do?
They're gonna give pregnant women $5,000 to get pregnant. White women.
Yeah.
They're gonna give white women $5,000 to get pregnant and have kids.
So what?
Everything for their everyday life was supposed to, like essentials, like all the essential things were supposed to decrease in a drastic way, in a way that we've never ever
They
seen.
ain't even talk about that no more.
Mm-mm.
They
Wait a
don't
minute. So
We done,
let's
they done moved so far left for that shit. They don't even talk about none of that shit no more.
wait a
Nothing.
minute. So I'm confusion. So we are supposed to be giving $5,000 to pregnant women, to women for having a baby. Is that why they took the right to get an abortion away?
Yeah, because remember,
They want to
So
control.
that's the incentive, $5,000.
yeah,
Yeah.
because you got to remember, art is imitating life here. What's the name of that show? That was on Hulu, The Handmaid's Tale. That's where it came from.
Well,
They
they
saw
did it.
that-
They were forced to do it for free.
Yeah, but he was like, well, I'm going to force them to do it, but I'm going to pay them because we're so scared of. Really, it's about the upholding of white supremacy. That's
Mhm.
really what it's all about. Okay, the death of white supremacy is happening in real time. Okay, people are like, no, it's not. Yes, it is. Okay, that's why you got so many people out here raising hell, white people especially raising hell about, it's too many colored people, too many Mexicans, too many Colombians, too many Venezuelans here, and too many blacks here. We got to get rid of them. We got to get rid of these niggers and these spicks and all of that. We got to get rid of them because they're taking over and we're going to be in the minority. Well, it's too late. Too late. They're already here. They're reclaiming what was once theirs. Okay? Because if you look at the history of the United States, okay, Mexico, especially before the Mexican-American War and the Louisiana Purchase, Mexico extended all the way up past Montana. And people were looking at me like, how the fuck do you know all this? I said, I study history. That was one of my favorite topics in high school, college, whatever. And they one of the collegians was like, yo, you need to be teaching this class. I'm learning more from you than I am from this damn teacher. I said, because I read into things. I don't read just for the sake of, lecturing the class. I read deeper into it and I do research behind that as to why. They'll never tell you why something happened in the book until you actually do the research. Just like when everybody's talking about the mayor of New York, that new mayor.
Oh, Madami, whatever.
Yeah, Manhabi or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Okay. I told people, everybody was like, oh my God, New York's gonna go under, it's gonna police state and all, blah, blah, blah. I said New York's already a police state. It's been a police state for years.
Yeah, hell yeah.
It's been a police state. Cameras every goddamn where. Especially in
That's why
Manhattan.
They got the cops walking around looking like that's where Ice probably got it from, New York.
Yeah, no. But I told people
I'm joking.
I told people to go back and watch this movie called Soylent Green. You might want to write that down, Coco. Soylent Green. Because it is
wait a minute, because my Baltimore hearing kicked in. You say Charlotte Green?
No, Soylent.
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 Oh, Soylent.
Soylent Green.
Green.
It talks about, because that movie, Charlton Heston, that movie came out, I think, 1973. I saw that movie back because a friend of mine turned me on to it back in the 90s. Because she was like, you never seen that movie? I said, no. She introduced me to it. I was like, oh, wow. This is art imitating life, or life imitating art, so to speak, or however you want to phrase it. New York, everybody in New York is homeless. New York is overcrowded. People are sleeping on top of one another, sleeping in stairwells. Everybody's poor. There's no food. So what did they do? They were giving out these green squares. Well, they were giving out these yellow squares, green squares, whatever. Nobody knew what the fuck was in it. Every Thursday, they would like just drop off squares to people. You know what I'm saying? And they'd be eating it. And then come to find out, what was happening was the dude goes in, Charlton Heston goes in. He plays a cop in the movie. I'll put it in the comments, JB. He goes in, he sees how that shit is made. That's why they kept saying, that's why a lot of people, when you hear that say Soylent Green is people, that's what it was. They were taking the dead people, the people who had recently died, grinding them up into food and feeding it back to the people. The same incident happened, I remember, in Baltimore back in the 90s. Jude, you may remember it. Coco, you may remember it. That guy named Ed Metheny. You never heard of him? Ed Metheny?
I heard it. I remember the name.
Yeah. The
name is right.
Yeah. That and everybody's talking about, oh, Jeffrey Dahmer was the worst. I was like, no, there's another one that's out there, and I think they need to make a movie about that motherfucker, Ed Metheny. He He broke up with his girl. He ended up killing her, grinded her up into hamburger meat, and was selling it to the public. And then he was like, "Oh shit,
yeah, I did hear about that story.
yeah." I don't remember where it was in Baltimore, but somebody from Baltimore, when I first got there, told me about that shit, and I was interested because you know me, I love shit like serial killers and shit like that. I love anything dealing with. I love shit like that, especially the more gory, the better. You know how that's how my mind works. But I was like, damn, he took prostitutes off the street and was grinding them up, put them in the meat, in the hamburger meat, mixing human flesh with hamburger meat, and just selling this shit like he had a little hamburger stand. He was cooking them shits. He finally got caught. I think after about 8 or 9 people disappeared and they were complaining about it, he got caught. He ended up dying in prison. But he was tough. He was like some big ass motherfucker. He was like 6'4" or some shit. He's some big hulking ass motherfucker. I was like, I don't need to go down there.
I mean, I know this is off topic, but since we're talking about the gore of the killing of the peoples, did y'all hear about that man in Philly that had did a whole egg gang?
They had a what?
Remember the story of Egg Guy when he was digging up the people from the cemetery? So did you hear the story about the guy from Philly that had over 100 remains? So
yeah. I heard that. I heard that.
100 pieces. So I was confused on the story. Was it 100 bodily remains, or was it pieces?
Pieces.
I thought they said.
I mean, it's all jacked up, but.
If that motherfucker had 100 people, I was like, that's a lot of people in his crawl space. His crawl space should be stinking to high heaven.
Right, and then this be my thing now. After watching the Ed Gein whatever story, right?
Ed Gein.
I can see back then there was not as much accessible and where he was, like how he was going to dig the people up. So Philly, you in Philly, and you just going to the graveyards, digging up people, like,
you know, a lot of graveyards aren't well kept. It's easy to do when the graveyards is just not well kept.
Yeah.
And I wonder if it was like the Baltimore City one, because you know you have those where the people who are unclaimed, like the one at the bottom of North Avenue. So I'm wondering if he was going somewhere like that. And then I'm like,
you got to remember though, Coco, back then.
No, this was recent.
Yeah, this is recent.
But yeah,
this man just got caught like the other day ago.
Yeah, you're right. A lot of those cemeteries, some of those cemeteries are not well kept because they are off the beaten path, or because there's a lot of cemeteries that have long been forgotten. Nobody's taking care of it. Nobody's looking after the bodies, and there's a lot of sunken graves, sunken mausoleums open, grave goo and all that shit dripping out of the mausoleums and all that, and nobody is looking after it. Okay.
But what kind of time and what like? I mean, I understand psychology, and I understand some things we probably just will never understand about people and why people do and behave in ways that they do. But I'm just in my mind, I'm like, what were you doing? And you were just sitting in the house, and you were like, I'm a little bored. I'm gonna go to the cemetery and go dig up some folks. And then you made this thing a hobby. Like, what crossed your mind to say, go dig up dead people?
Grave robbing has been a thing of history. You know, speaking of history has been the issue, seem to be, you know. History is the motherfucking problem.
But he wasn't taking jewels, friend. He was taking people bones. Like,
collectors. Listen, people have different type of fantasies, man. Watching some of these goddamn crime shows, you would be surprised, man. You'd be surprised. You would be surprised.
Well, see,
You know?
with the white folks doing it, with the white folks doing it, they calling it what they call when the white folks do it, architecture. I mean, what they call that shit?
Archaeology.
That's what
Archaeology.
he said he was doing was research. I think part of in the interview he was saying that he was
They grade, they motherfuckers,
research.
they grade robbing because they talking about, well, we done found King Tut. Yeah, y'all done got all that fucking gold. You bunch of damn grave robbers. Then you go and talk about, well, this is history. No, y'all motherfucking grave robbers.
Yeah.
Archaeologists, my ass. You grave robbers. You got a fancy damn name.
They just
Yeah.
because they thought that the gold, like all the gold and all that, because remember back in Egyptian times, what they would do, they would take their most valued possessions, that like King Tutankhamun, his most valued possessions, put them in the grave with him. You know what I'm saying?
It ain't no different than what what archaeologists be doing.
Yeah,
Going
yeah.
to
That's what I'm
the
saying.
tombs,
Grave
to
robbers.
the graves, taking fucking shit, moving it. That's why they ought to be voodoo cursed for real.
Yeah.
Even when they say they were, so even like the ancient tombs, you know, all of those from like ancient kings and all
They grave robbers.
were supposed to be cursed, but of course you seen other people bodies of people who were trying to, you know, attempting to rob the tomb, and everybody's like, oh, it was cursed, but people were still going in there, get the mummies and move it. I get all of that, but
You know what?
it's not
Cremate
like
me and throw me on my enemy so for one last ass whipping.
These motherfuckers been rotten. I told you them motherfuckers been rotten from day one. They've been rotten. Rotten ass people. I don't know if you should call them people because, like I said, anybody that call themselves an American citizen, whatever that means nowadays, will cheer another person exercising their right to protest, peacefully protest against something that they feel is wrong, which this country is based on wrong any fucking way.
Yeah.
They can sit around and cheer that kind of shit. You know, you living with a bunch of rotten ass, evil ass people. And they talking about, well, y'all talking about what happened in slavery. You motherfuckers can't recognize it. Y'all still possess them same traits today because that's what you're doing. Y'all, the traits ain't going nowhere. Oh, that was a long time ago. It ain't never happened. We didn't do that. But now look what y'all doing. Y'all are doing exactly that. Y'all not doing it to us because we backed away from that shit watching y'all. We smart enough to sit back and watch y'all do what your ancestors did to us, watching y'all do it to these other people. Look what y'all doing.
That is so true, Paul. Yep. Listen, because Donald Trump will be 80 years old this year, right? He was born, when is his birthday? June 14th, 1946.
Flag Day.
He will be 80 years old. And no offense to let me say this. What I'm saying is not by in any way, shape, or form to offend the elderly, but just hear me out. The current retirement age for anyone born in 1960 or later is 67. The president should be retired at this moment.
Right.
History, the reason why he doing the shit he doing is because, no offense, think about where the world motherfucking was, where the country was, fuck the world, where the country was just 80 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
And what he came up in.
Yeah.
And we
But
got
you
a
also
bunch
gotta
of
realize
people in
What did
running
World
the
War
government.
II end? When was the end of World War II?
he was born at the end of World War II. World War II ended in 1945.
So you know it was a struggle.
Yeah. The thing is, okay, with Donald Trump, that motherfucker was born with the Victrola. You know what the Victrola is, right? The Victrola. The Victrola. The Victrola was that record player that had the horn at the end of it, and you used to wind that motherfucker up, play the record and shit. Yeah, that's the era that he came from. You know, listen to fucking Stan Getz and you know the old jazz legends just say yeah, that's what he was listening to. You know what I'm saying? You know, And then he'd be like, you know, he was born in Queens. Queens, New York wasn't like it is now. New York City wasn't like it is now. Okay. The Bronx wasn't not like it was because the Bronx was Italian back then. More Italian than it is now. Okay. Manhattan, that's where all the immigrants came in because they came in through Ellis Island. That's where they all compound and they had their little enclave of neighborhoods. The Irish had their section, Italians had their section. Blacks didn't really move up there until the 50s and 60s. That's when the migration took place. That's when the Great Migration took place in the 50s and 60s. So it was basically all white. New York was all white. You know what I'm saying?
Guess what? I'm muted. I didn't mean to cut you off, but them was criminals from the day they arrived here. They've been criminals ever since.
Yeah, they have been. They have been.
Them motherfuckers rotten motherfuckers.
Yeah, they have been. They have been. Because now it's like, I tell people all the time, you can't have justice on stolen land. Motherfuckers look at me, what you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about you can't have justice on stolen land? That's wrong. I was like, yeah, what's going on has been going on. This ain't nothing new. Hell, black people been catching hell ever since we got here.
You got that right.
Okay? The Italians, when they first got here, they called hell because they weren't white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. Okay? They weren't WASP. The Irish weren't WASP. They weren't white Anglo-Saxon Protestant. Okay? They were Catholic. And there's always been a war. America has always gone through this religious war and all this other shit because it's Zionist, right? It's about Zionism. You know what I'm saying? They try to pit Protestant versus Catholic, Baptist versus Methodist, Hindu versus Islamic versus Christian. You know what I'm saying? All these labels that you've been put in, and people identify themselves with these labels, and that's why everything is all fucked up because you want to identify yourself with something you don't even understand what you're identifying with. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I was like, everybody's like, well, Q, what's your religion? I told them I'm atheist. I don't believe any of this shit. They were like, well, what do you mean? I was like, okay, did God write the Bible? They was like, yes, he did. I was like, no, he didn't. That's human invention. Okay? That man wrote the Bible. Okay? But it was God's, God told him to write. I was like, okay, no. Have you seen a talking snake? Have you seen? I've seen a burning bush. Okay, I've seen that. But
keeps on burning.
No, because when we go and you look at the hieroglyphics, and I think I said that right. That's why I want to go visit the tombs in Egypt. So when you go look on the walls and everything, so we can't say certain things would never work because we don't know what was here prior.
Okay, let me ask you this, Coco. Let me ask you this. Okay.
I'm just saying devil's advocate, but I'm just saying forward to that.
I just know they need to stop moving shit when they find shit. Every time they find something, they keep wanting to move it.
Yeah. Right. And I do agree with you about the Bible has been rewritten several different times. And yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
What was here first? What was here first, the Bible or the slave?
Allegedly, it was supposed to be the Bible, but they say the most original or that you can get to what's the real Bible is I think they said the Quran.
Bible.
Yeah. I'm talking about here in America. Mm-hmm. What was here first, the slave or the Bible?
The slave was.
No, the Bible, because that's what they used to keep the slaves in check was the Bible.
Yeah, but they also
because they know that the slaves could not read them Bibles. So right. I mean, but see now our people for some reason got so attached to them Bibles.
Yeah.
Them Bibles was used for two purposes: to keep people in slavery by having them think that the white man was supposed to be ruling over them, had been given authority over them, and then after they got through being slaves and dogging them and whipping them and killing them, then they want to turn around and tell them how it's supposed to preach love and teach love and all that. This one book.
The reason
This
why I
one
say
book.
slavery, the reason why I say slavery is because slavery has been around since the beginning of time.
Yeah, but I'm talking about
He's right too, but I see where Paul coming from, because remember that episode of Good Times when
Yeah,
Florida, when
I know
Michael
where you're
was
going with
like
this.
the Black Jesus one, and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
when we talk about the images, so I kind of, that made sense to me because they did, because everybody wanted to believe in something. You needed something to give you that, so they took their book of stories, and then they did it. So they painted this image of the person who was supposed to be the savior. So when JJ made Black Jesus, and then you see Michael knew, because Florida was this very religious woman, and she was like, "Take it down, Michael, take it down."
It
And
did.
Michael
Yeah,
said,
this
"Wait a minute,
this
Mama,
the only
wait a minute,
Jesus I know.
Yeah.
Right. And she said, "Because Dad don't know who this was." And then Mike, when he got the Bible, he said, "Wait a minute, Mama." And then he flicked to them pictures. He said, "Look at him, pale like wool." And then, so he went through each part of the thing, and that really is in the Bible. But I'm not trying to go there, but I'm gonna go there with this one particular thing. I was brought up in the church, and I had friends who were from several different religious backgrounds or whatever. Which is when you're young, and I was allowed to explore other religions, from Jehovah's Witness. I was raised Baptist, Christianity, Muslim, all of that stuff. You do start to question some things. The one part of the Bible that no church has harped on or taught was that particular scripture of his image.
Right. You want to know why they didn't want to teach you that?
I mean, as you get older, you start to get those things. But even in the Bible, they talk about certain things. But then the most important piece, a lot of people didn't know the parts of the stories of the Bible that was taken out.
Yeah.
Those chapters
There's a lot of stuff in the Bible's been taken out.
That talk about those two-head monsters and all of that stuff that we talk about today, that talks about the aliens and all, and the Scientology of it.
Yeah, the like for instance, Noah's Ark. Okay. I said, okay, how did this guy who was supposedly 600 some odd years old built this big ass boat that can house 2 of every kind of animal? So that told me, all right, so he went and found these animals, right? He got a male giraffe and a female giraffe. Okay. He got a male roach and a female roach. Okay. He got 2 fruit flies, 1 male, 1 female. Okay. Now, all these different animals, okay, how the hell did you fit them all on this supposedly big ass boat and keep the predators away from the prey? Okay, because I don't see any lions singing Kumbaya with gazelles.
He was like a trainer.
You say he's an animal tamer?
It was the divine power from above.
Right.
And he was granted the ability to
build this big ass boat with this and its 3 sons. And let me add another thing.
All of these species to start over, because you have to, because even in the book of Enoch, they talked about these powers.
Right. But let me ask you this then.
Get from the higher power. But
Okay.
you had to make it there.
How about this? How about this higher power? If Adam and Eve had 3 sons, who the hell did they procreate with?
All I want to say is this part. All it took was for me to read the Bible, attempt to read it, and thought in the Old Testament they was talking about the devil.
No, the devil's not even, he's only mentioned twice in the Bible.
You missing my point.
Yeah.
You missing my point. God was so unforgiving everything they tell you to fear about the devil sound like that damn Old Testament with some
No,
of his punishment.
God was the
Well,
devil.
because they would say, because it is a scripture. I can't remember which one when they say, and even they quote it. They even on Good Times. I hate to keep going back to that, but they did a lot of quotes from the Bible when they was
Yeah,
like,
they
my
did.
God,
They did.
my God is a
And then
jealous
came,
God.
Because Florida
then,
had a
yeah.
slave mind.
and
Not
then
on,
came the
no,
New
but no,
Testament.
not only that, because even when it comes to prayer, and they say there's power in prayer, somebody said something to me, and they was like, "Oh no, God don't like when you do this. God is a jealous God," and I was like,
Yeah, the God in the Old
No,
Testament was not playing. He was
"Yeah,
the great plague and the great flood and he was doing a lot. He was not a forgiving God.
Right. So then that shows the contradictory nature of that Bible. If he's such a loving God, why does he allow people to suffer? Why did he create destruction? Loving people don't destroy things. They don't.
that's in the book
But
of Enoch."
do y'all realize that shows like Good Times, Sanford and Son, somewhat the Jeffersons, because it was right around that area. Them little programs like that, them shows sent messages, and that Norman Lear guy and them guys that produced them shows, they were letting black people kind of like stand out and send messages. Cause back in the days, it wasn't nothing for them to be using the word nigga on TV like it wasn't nothing. It was just
that's right.
normal language on TV.
Yep.
And they used them shows, like you say, Florida had a slave mind. They was trying to show people this is how you have been brainwashed by these people to think. It wasn't that Florida had that kind of mind. It was them showing people, hey, this is how y'all have been focused to think. When they start bringing them black shows around on TV back in the day like that, because like I said, I was back there as a kid back then watching all this shit.
That's my favorite show. I know all episodes.
Oh, I love Good Times. Good Times. That's my go-to.
No, but she was so perfect that she was imperfect that she couldn't even see certain things for her kids. Because listen,
Right.
Thelma ain't have no friends but boyfriends, for real. You ain't never see Thelma come over with her girlfriends until she like, oh no, what would you do? And then they had Thelma as this goody two shoes. She had all these boyfriends, and then Thelma was dating that 20
Ended
something
up
year
getting married to
old boy
Bill.
that ain't like, and she was what,
The African.
allegedly 15 or 16, not even an African when she was messing with Philip Michael Thomas. Remember when he wrote that little Cleveland note about her? And then she was like, but mama, please, daddy, talk to him. And then until Jane seen a little scripture about him, about how great of a foe you can go out with him. Nigga, you approved this? And then
See,
you mean to tell me you thought your baby girl wasn't giving it up and they was blowing
Yeah,
Thelma
Thelma was
and
fast.
Thelma was
Yeah. That was a
and
hoe.
Thelma made sure them jeans was jeaning because Thelma was outside.
Yeah, Thelma was out there, but she was a hoe. No, Thelma was a hoe. She was a hoe. JJ was a hoe too.
But I mean, they gave it to you raw. It was just a way of getting the message out to people.
Yeah.
Cause for so long people thought the black people had to be on shows cooning and that kind of shit. They really didn't get serious about black people being on TV until really with I Spy with Bill Cosby.
Yeah. Because he was the non-threatening Negro.
Yeah. Cause the mother said, well, damn, you had Sidney Poitier playing in Lilies in the Field and all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Lord, I'm just telling you, it's just crazy. And then how they slowly got away from that, but they still had to use that laughter in order to really get our point across. They had to use laughter because laughter has always been easier for people to take when they're taking the truth.
Yep. The truth is in it. When you get, that's why you always hide the truth in a joke. That's why comedians hide truth in a joke.
Yeah.
But what I did like about the Cosby Show, because prior to, even though I love like Good Times and stuff like that, most black family based shows were based on struggle and
Yeah.
hardship. So when the Cosby Show came, that as I got older, I could appreciate was how they one had a two-parent home where both parents were educated, well off, and they were
Mhm.
raising their children a certain way, but you still saw the hardship of parenting. Because even in both circumstances, when you had a good time because you had JJ and his fuck shit, then you had Michael's going through his growing pains, but you also had they had what 4 or 5 kids, and they all had different growing pains of no matter how much you do, your kids is going to still go through it. But what they never did was break the family structure.
Yeah.
No,
They showed
man.
how to yeah, mother and father could still be a united front, even though the kids played them against each other and certain things. But they also show how okay, we gonna come back together because we not
But
going
you know what though?
No.
And as soon as like the government found out that was happening, guess what they did?
take it off.
They broke it all up because they were like, no, we can't have the black. We got to get rid of the black man because he's the backbone of the black family. Let's go ahead and have the women married to the government. We'll give them money to keep the black man out of the house.
Yeah, but then you had shows like The Fresh Prince.
Oh
You-
God, I hated that show.
I
I
love The
never-
Fresh Prince. Let me
I
tell you.
hated
Let
that
me
show.
let me tell you why I love The Fresh Prince. I love The Fresh because I was also a Cosby shower, and I also like Good Times. I watched Family Matters. I used to watch what's that album
A
one?
different world.
Different strokes.
No, it was another family.
Different
Full
strokes.
House. I was a Full House
Full
girl
House,
too. You
yeah.
feel me? But no, I like Fresh Prince because it showed that even though you feel me, like they were rich, they went through like regular shit too. Hillary was dense. Ashley was, young growing up. Carlton was Carlton. You feel me? Then you had Will. You feel me? Like, and that show used to show you like some normalcy and with, like, because, like, I don't like the Tyler Perry effect. The black people always struggling because black people not always struggling.
Right.
You feel me? Like, some black people are doing very good for themselves. And, yeah.
Yeah,
that's all
but
I
you
got
know
to
what
say.
though? People.
When I didn't mean to cut you off, cause y'all know I forget. Well, can I ask you this question before I forget? When did they start showing black two-parent shows on families? I mean, on TV. Because before it was just single mother shows. So when did they start showing two-parent homes with black parents in the home on TV?
I don't know. I think Good Time.
As far as I remember, it was Good Times.
Good Times.
Yeah.
Because Good Times was on a little bit before I was born, so it was like that mid to late 70s, going
No.
into the 80s.
It may have been before then.
No, movie of all time, Crooklyn.
Yeah.
Crooklyn will always forever be like the oh my God, that gave everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I used to want to live in New York because of Crooklyn.
Because it was the epitome of our community. Like if you can go outside, and it was every community, no matter what state you were in. Like even in Baltimore, you could resonate with the fire hydrant, like certain stuff.
Yeah.
It's hot as shit outside. All of y'all cooped up, all the cousins and all of that stuff, and then
sitting out front.
Y'all it was like everybody's childhood when we was outside.
Mm-hmm.
When you could go outside.
Those were the best times. Those are the best times because I got fond memories and shit. Because I used to come down south a lot. Like a lot of people, like, yeah, how you know so much about the South? My family is from the South, like most black families. Okay, my family's from Georgia. I'm the only northern-born, northern-raised kid in our family. But I used to come down summers, holidays and shit. Go see my grandmother, my great-grandmother on both sides, paternal and maternal. And, my cousins would be with me. All my cousins were like born in the South, but we were all close. That's how we to this day, we're still very close, very, very connected. You don't have that anymore because half the way the black family's been broken up, it's been disintegrated so bad. Hell, you don't know who the hell you're marrying now. You may be marrying your cousin and not even know it. because you weren't taught that. You know what I'm saying? You weren't taught your family tree. You weren't taught to know that, hey, that's Uncle Roy over there. Uncle Roy did such and such and blah, 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 blah. His contribution to the family produced this, produced that. Or Auntie Vivian, she did this, she did that. You know, her accomplishments were this, that, and the third. In this world, in this society, everything is so fucked up now. Like the kid, like back in the 80s, girls that were 15, guess what they were doing? They were dating drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? Just like that movie Paid in Full. I tell people that shit all the time. I remember a lot of this shit. Seeing drug dealers on my block fucking having gold BBS kits on their fucking BMWs. The 318Is and shit, with the drop tops and shit, with the fucking Louis Vuitton hoods and all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? Going to the high school, going to the junior high, going to pick up a 15-year-old girl. And I'm like, damn, I was like, not saying to myself, why the fuck will she date me? What the hell's wrong with me? I stink or something? I'm smelling my arms and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is wrong with me? I didn't have what them drug dealers had.
They was musty too. They was musty. Huh? They was musty too. Because they used to run up to like the middle school and their legends. They was definitely musty.
Right.
One of my homeboys, he had a cousin from up there in New York during that time that you're talking about right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe she was around that age, around 15 or so, around that age. And she got caught up there in some of that shit and got killed up there in that thing that was going on. I don't know. It's a guy. You remember the magazine Don Diva?
Yeah.
Okay, he used to, Tony's dad. Well, Tony, the other Tony's dad. He was down here, and he was out there with us for a while at the BCC. He got out and had a little place over here, a little shop. But then he went on back up north there. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, because a lot of the girls,
them drugs from up there was all over the place. But yeah, they was looking for the young girls.
Mess with them young girls, right? You know, the parents didn't know any better because the parents, you know, the drug dealer would give them money to help pay the rent and all this other shit. And parents would be like, oh, yeah, little Susie, go ahead. You know, they basically pimping out their daughters without them actually saying, I'm pimping out my daughter to you. You know what I'm saying?
When did pedophilia become not okay? Hear me out. Because we've talked about this several times. And we all know when we were young, it was acceptable, because even go back to Good Times and how they accepted their young daughter as long as this man was established or they had something to offer or something. And then we also know in some cultures outside of America, it's legal as long as the child. As legal for a young girl. Usually they have to at least have their menstrual or be able to bear children, right? Right. And they can get married to an older man. So I even remember when I was young. I know, like I said, they ain't even had to be drug dealers, but even if they came through with their cause, they were still musty back then too. And but it wasn't that. It was just the flashiness of it all. But so much was accepted, because I can remember being at Lamel and guys was pulling up in 300s and Legends and all of that stuff, and they was well into their 20s or stuff like that, and they were like literally coming to pick up people, and they were hanging out, and then you would see the girls come back with the herringbones, the little freaky reeds, all that, all of that stuff. So I say that to say, when did we finally get to a point to say this is not okay? Because it's been accepted for so long, and so when we see all of these things now, and it's like, oh, this is like it's just nasty, it's disgusting. Like, when did people realize that not even just girls, boys too, young boys were being groomed and were being manipulated?
People didn't realize incest was accepted. back in the day.
Yeah, but what made the turn for people to know that it was?
I don't know the exact thing, but I know that shit been going on since the beginning of time.
Mhm.
With them kings, let's start with them kings and shit.
Yeah.
It started there when the young girls used Bridgerton for a thing. Because if you really look at a lot of that history shit, and the crazy part is that's the part of history that they keep out of shit. But now we are finding out more shit.
Yep.
Ages, but ever since a young girl, when she reached puberty, do you know the childbearing age? And I just found this out. I don't have kids, but I just found out the childbearing age is from like 14 to like 21.
Yeah, but
I
see,
think
you also
it
got to
goes
realize.
younger to like 12 or 13. It depends
Yeah.
on your
Yeah,
You
your
also,
cycle.
yeah.
you also got to
like-
realize. You also
'cause
got to
like-
realize.
Because I'm sorry to cut you off, but like some young girls, like, and I was one of them. I started really young. I was still in like elementary school.
Yeah,
so
I mean that's normal.
and in some cultures that was acceptable as long as
Yeah.
when you have your first, they call it your first bleed.
Yeah.
They would mark you off.
The Habsburg kingdom, right? You're astute in history, and I admire that about you too. You too, Coco. All three of us are all four of us. You too, Paul. All four of us are very astute in history. The Habsburg Empire back in Europe. That's why they were inbred. That's why a lot of them, if you look at pictures at a lot of those kings, they were facially deformed because they were inbred. They were fucking their like first cousins.
Oh yeah.
One was fucking his sister, and
That's what Game of Thrones.
there's a movie that movie I gotta send you guys called Caligula. I got that movie. I downloaded it. Yeah,
It's a good movie.
yeah.
No.
But there was a lot of truth to that movie.
Yeah.
There's a family. They just did an interview. I want to say they like in Alabama. I don't. No offense to Alabama people, but I think it was some Alabama shit that was going on down there.
Yeah.
Every time I think of like country, I think of like Alabama. But it's a family.
Mississippi is worse than Alabama.
It's probably Mississippi. It's between one of them. That's my second place. That's what I was thinking. But I was thinking of Alabama or Mississippi. But anyway, it's a family who they got generations of inbred people, and they was doing like an interview on them people and their living conditions, and it was like a newborn. They had like a newborn, a 2-year-old, but they were all the way up to like, I'm gonna say like maybe like in their 50s, and it was something wrong with
I think I know who you talk. I think I know
it
who
was
you talking
something
about.
wrong with.
It's in West Virginia. That's in West Virginia.
Oh damn! I said Mississippi.
Nah,
I'm sorry,
I know.
Mississippi.
I know.
And
It's
Alabama.
not, I know.
I'm
The
sorry.
name of that family. I know who you're talking about. The family is in West Virginia. It's a white family, and there's a YouTube show called Soft White Underbelly.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I couldn't remember the name of it.
Soft White Underbelly, and they I forgot what the name of that it's on the tip of my tongue, but it's a white family. They're all inbred, all of them are inbred, and they don't talk normal. They talk in grunts and groans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like,
They going back to their natural habitat.
No, that shit crazy though.
What's down with the kids? If I mean,
Huh?
From the
Well,
Caucasus Mountains.
they breed. They have sex with each other to have babies.
What you
And
think
they've
they're
been
doing
doing
in
it for
Caucasus?
generations. Like it's a generational thing. They just keep having sex with
you know,
each other to have babies.
she said it's something wrong with each and every person.
Yeah,
So
Everybody.
What was it? I don't know if it was like
They all autistic.
okay.
yeah.
They had to be trained
Every
how to
single one
talk.
of them. Yeah.
They had to be trained how to talk when
Everybody,
you out of cage.
the whole entire bloodline is autistic at this point.
Yeah.
And they still having
Kids.
babies. Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of them, one of them died recently.
or something.
Yeah, one of them died. Yeah, because I'm looking it up now. It's called the Whitakers. They're called the Whitakers. And I'm about
So
to.
what do they call each other? Like, do they be like, "Hey, auntie," like,
I don't know. They don't really. I don't know. But when he was talking, when Q was talking about the Ember, I was thinking about like, shoot, that's some shit that's still going on now.
Yeah.
You feel me? That's some stuff that's just going on. You know, and that's crazy because you know, the more I find out, because you know, we used to be able to classify shit like this black people shit, that's white people shit. Now that's just some people shit. You feel me? Like no bullshit. Like it's just some, because the amount of fathers who have children by their daughters is ridiculous. It's crazy.
Yeah, because what they do now is like they live in a remote part of West Virginia, and all the neighbors.
It's not all in West Virginia.
Huh? No. But that I said a remote part. I said a remote part in West Virginia. But you gotta realize. I just sent y'all the link. That's the Whitakers. That's the Whitakers.
Whoa.
It's only the views.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Downstairs out of West Virginia, man.
She said you gonna stop blaming the people in West Virginia now.
Man, listen, I would never in the history of ever go there. I would never in the history of ever go to West Virginia. Okay. That ain't there is nothing for me to go. Somebody's like, because I got a job, and somebody tried to send me on a job up to West Virginia. As soon as I heard West Virginia, I said, "Oh hell no, I'm not going there." They don't like niggas there. And so that West Virginia is 90 some odd percent white. Huh?
They like us.
Who? West Virginia people? No, they don't. No, they do not.
Listen,
they do not.
I don't like going to Virginia, period. It's not even about race. It's just about, like, I can't even say why, you know, but they always messing with you on the road.
Sundown down there.
Yeah, like in Texas.
With you on the road.
Shit, Texas the same way. Like there's certain parts of Texas that if you go into it, if you ain't out by sundown, they gonna get your ass.
It's certain parts of everywhere. Just be real.
Yeah,
there's certain parts of everywhere that you just don't want to be.
I don't fuck with.
Hager's down here. I think Haver the Grace. What is it? It's one of them close to DC. It's another one close to DC. Hagerstown definitely. I know for a fact. I can't remember.
You know, I'm not biased with all that. You feel me? Because it's gonna be the same type of situation. You know, either way. Yeah. I feel the same way about being in a sundown town as I do being in a hood downtown.
Yep.
You feel me? At any given time, I would never go out without a fight. Just know that, regardless of what situation I'm in. Right. And all I'm saying is, you know, if I don't have no reason to be, you know, in a place.
Wait, my friend, I got my church finger up. Corey, don't come up here and start no motherfucking bullshit. I was doing real good until you came up here, and I gotta cuss your ass out. You done took J-Man place. Who the fuck like the Steelers? You know it's Patriots all day. You first of all, you here late. You late. And then you
Then he come up here talking about them whack ass fucking Steelers.
No, he trying to be an asshole because of my Nirvana shirt Fuck the Steelers. It's always the Patriots over here. Don't play with me. I'm sorry, but I had to address that. Like the fact. I'm sorry now, back to the hey y'all. But hi Corey, welcome. The fact.
Oh, but what was we talking about?
The sundown towns and everything.
Oh yeah, man. Listen, I ain't saying I'm the toughest or nothing, but I just feel like the same. I just feel like if black people, when it comes to sundown town, instead of giving it as much power as they wanted to, treat that shit like how they treat the hood. I'm not going. Stay your ass the fuck out of there. They don't want you there the same way they feel as though we don't want them in the hood or whatever. I don't motherfucking be in either one of them because 9 times out of 10 somebody don't want me to fuck there. So I don't need to be there. You feel me? Why you want to go? To say that you was there?
What my man said? What my man said Friday?
Through?
What my man said Friday when Red got his ass punched out? You over here messing with people
for fucking likes and follows. I'm just gonna be in there on my phone, my black ass. Well, it's crazy. No,
I can't stand. Didn't first of all, J-Bad, didn't you say good night already? Like, why are you still? Why are you still here? Matter of fact, can you pay up from our bet though when we beat the Ravens though? Since we really want to take it there, I'm sorry.
Why you had to ask first of all?
We ain't even read in the room. We was having a nice intellectual, educational conversation here, and then y'all come.
He can root for Texas. Listen. He can cheer for Texas. Why the fuck would we choose? Listen, first of all, why would we root for y'all to motherfucking win?
He ain't got to root for me, but don't talk no trash when you still ain't you ain't pay out from the back.
Listen.
And I can see you talking shit, friend, because I ain't never hear you go against your team. Now we have video evidence.
That is true.
Of this one, but pause. Every time he do this, every time he do this, we end up winning. So please continue. And then you always hit me. But see, this is the thing. He do this up here, but then be on my line like, Cook, I'm sorry. Congratulations to y'all. But you don't say that up here, though. Do I have to post the receipts of you congratulating and saying good game about the Patriots? See, now I expose y'all for who y'all are.
J-Man, just go to bed. Just good night. just good night.
About feelings because we went and y'all came up here messing with me. I was being cool, calm, and collected all the time. Y'all come up here bothering me. It ain't even time for this part yet. We got a couple more minutes. I'm sorry, y'all go back, but and it's always the people that's already home on the couch.
Right. Now notice. I didn't say anything, and I know my team sucked this year.
But y'all about to get that coach. I heard he looking at yeah, I heard I heard that.
And me and Bosco, because Bosco and I had that discussion earlier today on Richie Hicks Podcast Junior Show. Shout out to Richie Hicks Podcast Junior Show. And there's another segment podcast that they're going to be doing. Shout out to Bosco. They're going to be doing something also called the Boom Bap Sports Show. Okay,
I heard,
and it's going to be, and I can't wait to hear. I can't wait to see it. It's going to be so lit because it's going to be not only deal with sports, it's going to deal with music, everything that we discuss here. And we need to. This right here is what's needed because it's too much bullshit out here in this world. And to keep bottled up, you need an outlet.
Get that right.
You need that because I'm sick and tired. I don't even watch the fucking news. I don't watch
in a while either.
I don't want to do no right sentence.
I watch YouTube, right? I watch everything on YouTube because I watch what the Midas Touch, that the Romano Report, and that's how I get all my shit. I'm like, yeah, I know they're biased because they're against Trump. I am too, but I just want to know the crux of why he's frustrated. I know why he's frustrated. Cause
I like the different world news. I like Bloomberg, BBC. I like the Asian news. I like to see like when we do shit to them. And some of these news stations have channels on YouTube. That's why I said a lot of this stuff is like readily available. Because when we like beefing with them, I like to see their viewpoint.
yeah,
You
hell,
get what I
you should
mean?
watch Al Jazeera.
They're more raw than what
Yeah.
we are. See, we do like blanketed statements. Al news, in other countries, their news is like in your motherfucking face, especially Asian news. Asian news don't give a fuck about nothing. They don't. You could get stabbed in your eyeball right next to them. They are going to zoom in and talk about you while this knife is in your eyeball, and they going to make a whole.
You want to know why though?
They're not going to help you.
The reason why that is because news here is owned by entertainment companies, right? If you watch, like, say for instance, the end of any news programming, you know how they have the little caption at the bottom, you know, the copyright and all that with the Roman numerals. It's gonna say, this is a subsidiary of Fox News Entertainment or CBS Entertainment Company. Okay. A lot of these quote unquote journalists are professional fucking liars. Okay. They're professional liars. You know what I'm saying? They're paid to not tell you really much of anything because it affects the quote unquote entertainment value. This is why I tell people, bread and circuses. Okay. Bread and circuses. What that means is, the reason why what bread circuses means, okay, I'm gonna build this big ass stadium over here to keep the people entertained so that they don't have to worry about what's going on over here. It's basically sleight of hand. Same thing what the Roman Empire did. When the people started questioning, hey man, where the fuck is our money? What the fuck is going on with this government? Oh, look, a shiny object. Look at this big ass Coliseum. It can sit 5,000 people. I can watch the lions eat the Christians. I can watch the gladiators fight. But oh my God, I'm entertained. You see what I'm saying? We love this. This is going back to what I was saying. We love being entertained. We don't really give a fuck about what's going on in the world as long as we are entertained. We are brainwashed.
But the shit is entertaining. That's the thing. When you really like get into it, I ain't even gonna hold you. I used to think the same thing. My grandmother and my oldest aunt, shout out to Aunt Margaret because I know she be watching. So they used to sit and watch the news, and they would teach them. I don't want to hear about that. And then one day, I forgot who it was. I was watching something, and they got into an argument, and I said, "Oh, they beefing? Oh wow!" And I was completely invested from then on because I was like, I want to see who gonna argue today. So much happens when you watch the news, and even when you see like when they have invited guests and anchors, even down to the what are they called? Press conferences. Some people be going in summertime and they be so shady, and then you have so much stuff going on. It's like, how can you not be entertained? Look at who the fucking president is. How are you not entertained?
No, you gotta pay attention too. When they so news come on at different time. Them back-to-back news. See, you gotta know, like, all right, 12 o'clock news. Shit that break out at 12 o'clock news, they usually gonna give it to you hella raw. You gonna get some misinformation, but you might get some information that they ain't gonna tell you at 4, 5, and 6. They ain't gonna want to tell you because they ain't mean to tell you all that at noon. And then, but that's when the shit happened at like like in the afternoon, breaking news, you'll get the shit like you gotta catch that shit in the beginning. Cause I noticed that as the news go on, they take certain shit out and they start filling it with bullshit. But then the news lie. Yes, the news lie a lot. I used to work somewhere where I know for a fact that how, like, what the news used to say was not what actually used to happen.
Yep.
It used to be sometimes, but that's all for sometimes the public can't take a lot of shit. To be honest with you, the public can't take a lot of shit. Look at the shit that we do get to see, or the knowledge that we do have. And look at what people do with it.
Just a quick time check. We got like 5 minutes. J Bear, remind me of this about the civil rights thing because you did send me this before. We can add this to Wednesday. Okay. So we can dive into that more Wednesday. Along with some other stuff, so we can make note of that. But go ahead, you can take the last 5 minutes.
What I was saying?
Yeah, she got that old timers. That's that old timers kicking in.
Listen, I'm multitasking right now.
We was talking about the news, and you were saying how like the 5 o'clock news.
Oh yeah, so like so I feel like I know, and you know, a lot of people out here, the public know the world ain't ready. Look at how people react to some of the shit that they do see, and with that AI shit mixed in with, like, you don't really know. You know, like they didn't play their cards right with making everybody like a believer, non-believer. You feel me? The world is forever gonna be at war with what's real and what's fake. They got us.
Yeah.
And they put it in the Matrix. We seen it before it was coming. They tell us everything they're gonna do. They Donald Trumped us. They said, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go in Venezuela, I'm gonna take the oil, and we're gonna bring it back. And we're gonna keep it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Corey. Corey said he liked the show. Thank you. He jumped in from time to time. So again, because I got to do this. See, this time I have to do it because of Corey. So let me just do this publicly for those of you who may be new and watching. No, I do not always curse out our supporters. I know Corey, been knowing Corey since I was, oh my God, in my 20s. So Corey's a friend. I can cuss at him. He likes it. It's okay. We're fine. So just so to clear that up. So I got to add him to my list of people that I'm just may happen to take me out of character and crash out for a second. Thank you guys for tuning in, watching. We will be back Wednesday at 8 p.m. Send us your topics. Send us what you want us to talk about, all that good stuff. We missed y'all. We definitely missed Q being up here. Y'all can tell it be lit when Q here. So hopefully we can get him back soon on Wednesdays too. But
yeah, I'm working on that part. Because I'm trying to get out of that job I'm at now to get something better, and also Monday through Friday, because it's Tuesday through Saturday shit. Working 3 to 12 midnight. It's bullshit.
But we can try to get you back. Okay. So thank y'all. We love y'all. Follow everybody on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch,
everything.
Spotify. We on everything. You can follow Casual Convo. You can follow the Jude Creations. You can follow, what are you, Semantic? What?
I just call. I'm on Instagram and TikTok, even though I don't be on there like that. I'm more on Facebook, but I think on Instagram it's Semantic 10. I think I'll put it in the chat. I got to go back and look at it, but Facebook definitely. I'm always on Facebook, mainly.
I'm gonna put everybody's social handles in the description. Just give me a couple minutes to do it. I'm gonna show over. But as always, we will see you guys on Wednesday at 8 p.m. We love you. Goodbye.
Peace.
Peace.